Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Andrew Jack has shocked a lot of people winning his pro debut at the 2022 Texas Pro, and it was definitely well deserved. From the moment that this guy came out, I knew that he was going to be something special. And of course, he was prepped by George Farah and did a lot of posing training with Milo Sarchev as well as Flex Wheeler. And as I said in my prejudging video from looking at the live stream, Andrew looked full-on superhero, taking nothing away from the other guys at all, but it was honestly hard to compare them to him. You almost just had to compare them to each other because his structure and height was just so overpowering on that stage. As we all know, Steve Kuclo is pretty much the biggest guy on any stage, and Andrew Jack was even making him look small. And in the finals, Andrew actually did a full split. He did a great posing routine, man. This guy was enjoying himself on the stage. And once again, we know this isn't a 100% Andrew Jack. He said about 60 to 70%, but I would say about 80%. And everyone who is doing the Arnold Classic UK, James Hollingshead, Mark Hector, Martin Fitzwater will also be there as well. But these guys are going to have a very hard time trying to beat a guy like Andrew Jack. But if Andrew can bring the glutes and the hamstrings in, he can be a threat at this year's Mr. Olympia. But even with this package, I believe Andrew could be a top 10 Mr. Olympian. And of course, I'm speaking very loosely, but incredible package. And in second place, we had Martin Fitzwater, who was very deserving of this. I almost thought they was going to make a political decision and put Steve Kuclo in second. But if you guys remember in my prediction video, I actually put Martin in fifth. And I said I'm not sure how he's going to come in condition-wise. He did a pre-show interview with Branch Warren and Ron Harris. Branch, you guys know that he came in crazy condition, and he says Martin will be ready. So once I heard that, I was like, okay, Martin is probably going to be second place. So I was off about Andrew, but at least I was right about Martin. None of the experts had him in the top 5. And if they did, he was 5th, maybe 6th. And in third place, we had Steve Kuclo. Now, this was tough for me because, as you guys know, going into this show, I was really hyping Steve up to win. Now, in all honesty, out of Steve Kuclo's last 4 showings, this was probably the worst. Steve does seem like this was a decline for him. I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think he should quit. But he definitely seems to be down in size. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but Steve Kuclo is a guy that grows into shows. He usually starts off around, let's say, 260, 265. And he adds weight going into the show. So if Steve wants to improve, he may want to use a different method into going into a show. And in fourth place, we had Kamal Elgargni. Now, I wasn't there in person. I was just watching live streams for both of these shows. I honestly believe Kamal looked a little bit better in Tampa last week. But once again, this was a much bigger lineup, and Kamal was honestly getting kind of lost. Him having the advantage in the back double bicep really wasn't that prominent because Martin Fitzwater has a crazy back and has even more density with the peeled hamstrings. But Kamal was held back because of mass and as well as structure. No one talks about how Kamal doesn't necessarily have the best structure for bodybuilding. And he is going up against Andrew Jack as well as Martin Fitzwater, and both of those guys have incredible structures. But Kamal did say that this will probably be his last year competing unless he decides to do the Masters Olympia. And at 51 years old, top 4 at this show, still incredible. And in 5th place, we had Quinton Eriya, Quint Beastwood. Now, Quint came in more conditioned than last week. But with him missing mass, he did look a little bit lighter on stage. Now, Quint had fun doing these 2 shows. He definitely got his name out there. But I think it's time for him to go ahead and shut it down and make the improvements. Everyone sees that he has the structure, he has the potential. He just needs time to put the mass on, specifically in the back area. But this was a great showing for him, and he didn't hold his head at all, taking their 5th place placing. A couple guys were upset with their placings. And I'm going to assume that Big Bad Bundy got 6th place. They only announced the top 5. This guy has an incredible physique, and I seen Nick's Strength and Power call him the next Kevin LeVron. But in all honesty, he looks very similar to a mix of Akeem Williams and Robbie Robinson to me. But this guy has some very freaky muscle. He just needs to bring up the back a bit and make sure he consistently nails his conditioning. But we did have this show once again being won by Andrew Jack, who completely shocked me. For the past month, I've just been like, Andrew has to prove himself. I didn't think that he was going to be conditioned enough to win this show in all honesty. I knew that he had the structure, but I was worried about the conditioning. And he was also posting videos that were like weeks old to kind of confuse us as well. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.